Lisa Hoffman, the Homebody Realtor, and I want to thank all the veterans out there for their service. And I also want to thank the family members of those who served and the loved ones of those who served. I understand the countless, worries and the sleepless nights are also a sacrifice. So, I'm acknowledging that and thank you for what you've been through. Today, I want to talk about VA loans. And essentially, a VA loan is a mortgage that is guaranteed by the federal government, kind of like FHA. The big difference is with VA, you have to have served in the military or be a surviving spouse. And what they're saying is thank you for protecting our country. We want to make it easier for you to buy a house. So with FHA, for example, you have to put 3.5% down, and then you also have to pay mortgage insurance, right? And that PMI, you also have to pay in conventional loans until you hit about 20% or 20% equity in the home. And that's why you hear that magic number of 20% down. Obviously, people buy with less, but until you hit 20%, you're paying this basically monthly mortgage insurance, which can get very costly. FHA PMI is not cheap. So if you are using a VA loan, not only do you not have to put anything down, but you're not paying that mortgage insurance, which is a really big help. So essentially what you'll do is you'll go on to your, log in through the VA into your portal, and you're going to go in and you're going to print your certificate of eligibility. And on your certificate of eligibility, it'll tell you what your funding fee is. Your funding fee gets rolled into your monthly payment, so it's not like you have to pay that up front as a closing cost or anything like that. But it does vary depending on what your service was, how long it was, if you were injured, obviously, you have to be honorably discharged. It does vary. If it's your first time using the VA benefit, that funding fee is going to be lower than if you've used it in the past. So you're going to get that number and obviously talk to your loan officer, and they're going to work with you on that. The one thing I want to just talk about is, I grew up in a family where it was very honorable to serve in the military. I do have veterans in my family. I do have family members who are active military. And I get a little frustrated when I hear realtors say, okay, well, if you have anything saved up, just do a conventional loan. It'll be easier to get accepted, especially in this market. You can't get a VA loan accepted in this market. That's not true, right? The realtor doesn't know what they're doing. Obviously, there are some, and I don't want to say cons, but like looking from the other side, putting yourself in a seller's shoes, there are two things that might make them question a VA loan over other loans. And that is the inspection process, which if you're working with anybody who knows what they're doing, it is not a problem. We could get around that. That's, small potatoes. And then the second thing is your commitment, right? So if you're putting 0% down, if you're not putting any money down, sometimes that scares people because in their mind, they say, okay, well, two things. Well, is this going to appraise? I've never had a property not appraise, so that's not an issue. I'm not going to have you go into I'm not going to have you get into a bidding war or even put in a regular, offer on something that I don't think is going to appraise. But the second thing is the seller wants to know that you're committed. So if you're not putting any money down, sometimes they get nervous. And there are ways that we can, work around that. There are things we can do, especially if you do have money saved up and you were thinking of going conventional. You don't have to, but we'll take that. We'll put that down just to kind of give them some assurance. If not, and once again, that basically goes to pay your funding fee. So if you have let's say 5% saved up that you would have done with a conventional mortgage, you put that 5% towards your funding fee, which is going to be 5% is more than most funding fees are anyway. But, if give me a call, there are things that we could do. There are ways we could work it. It is a benefit that you earned. It's not something that is just loosey-goosey handed it to you. You earned it. You have every right to use it. And I think you should, even in this market, we can get you accepted. So, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. And if you're thinking of buying, use a VA loan and give me a call and we'll make it happen.